Hello everyone, I'm Filmos and this is another devlog of Project Liquid. Last time when we left off, we had done the character movement, our character could attack, and we had some enemies which could also attack us. So what's going to be done in this video? We're going to finish the very last things and then just release the prototype. So let's get to work. The first thing you'll notice is that there are no enemies actually in the game. And I know, a moment ago I just said that they are implemented. So what's the problem? They don't spawn. So let's just add that spawning mechanic real quick. This is not going to be difficult. All I did was add a few conditions. Firstly, they can spawn in the walls. That one is obvious. The second one, they have to stay away from the player. It's quite a common mechanic when an enemy can spawn if it's too close to the player to prevent it from being an impossible to dodge situation. Now, we have three types of enemies. So I decided that, well, they aren't really equal in difficulty. Some of them just shoot a single laser, and some of them shoot, I don't know, an exploding projectile. So, as you play, the difficulty kind of rises. And based on the difficulty, a different type of enemy has a chance to spawn. So at the beginning, you'll find the single blasters way more often. And as you progress, you will find more of the exploding ones. The second thing that wasn't really missing, but that could be used, was the difficulties, so that the player could choose how hard the game should be. Now, here I already had implemented something similar. In the original design, I had created game modes. So those were different types of behavior that the game would follow. You could choose from a drop-down list, and then you could have completely different gameplays based on that. The idea for that was that I'll make a few to choose from and then post it and let you decide which one you think is the best. Now that didn't really work out because there weren't enough game modes that were actually good to choose from, and there was just that single one where you just attack by dodging that really stick out. But the code was there and all I had to do is just tweak it a bit. The original code was just a table, a list of tables in which different parameters were designed, and all I had to do to change from game mode to difficulty was set the biggest one, so like how the enemies move, how you attack, to the same values, and then the smaller ones, such as how fast are the enemies, or how much damage they do when you attack, to different ones. Then one of you, Weatherfish, suggested over on Discord to add a special difficulty, a nightmare difficulty. The idea is, you can see your enemies. The darkness is way darker, as much as it being complete black, and the enemy eyes don't glow. And I loved it. The idea was really great, so I added that. And it's really amazing, and it's actually quite scary, because you don't know, when you're running away, you don't know if there are like 3 more enemies standing there. Now we had difficulties, but we had to choose them somehow. The previous system of choosing game modes wasn't great, wasn't pretty, and wasn't intuitive, so I had to change that. Now we had one advantage over the last system, that is there are only 3 difficulties, meaning we could do something interesting about it, or rather just be a bit lazy about it. So what I did, instead of making a play button, I made 3 buttons, which are play at a normal difficulty, play at a hard difficulty, and play at impossible difficulty. I had to choose between horizontal and vertical layout. I thought that vertical looks a bit more natural, so I went with that. And after a bit of tweaks, I used the same template for the start menu as the game over menu. So now we can choose the difficulty both at the beginning of the game and when we die. And that was it. The prototype was finished, it was playable, but before sending it out, I thought, well, maybe let's test it. So with the help of a couple Discord users, we did that. And I'm really glad we did. There were 2 really big issues with it. The first one was quite easy to fix. While testing the game over screen, I accidentally left out a settings which change normal difficulty to absolutely impossible one, designed just to kill you as fast as possible, so I can see the game over screen faster. But the second issue was slightly more interesting, and I wonder if you can spot it. The speed of different computers is different. So what's going on here? The tick speed of the game is actually frame-based, which is really bad. I mean, if you play the same game at double the speed, it's not going to be really pleasant. But I managed to fix this as well, and after another batch of testing, the prototype was ready to release. And it is out right now. There's a link in the description, you can go and play it. And that will be the end of this devlog. I tried doing it different this time, so let me know what you think about this style in the comments. See you next time!